Welcome everyone. Today we are having the sixth STEM quest with partnership of Imperial College London, Creative Futures at Imperial College, and Royal Academy of Engineering and Twing. We welcome you all to today's show. Our co-hosts are from United Arab Emirates and UK today. And as co-host, I am, and Lara is attending from Turkey, Istanbul, and Sunday is in UK as well. So welcome you all. While starting to show, you just watched a video from Twing, the experiments that our participants and Twiners are sharing inside of this application. One of the co-hosts attended last week's show, Barish, shared a great experiment with us inside of Twing mobile application. And I want to share this video with you as well.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to do the balloon blow up experiment. So let's start. First we put the baking soda. Then we put the vinegar. Then we get this out and put the balloon at top of the bottle. Then the balloon gets like this. I hope you liked it. This is a fun chemical reaction between the baking soda and the vinegar. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for doing the experiment, Barish. I hope to see yours experiment, guys, inside of the Twing application as well. It is full of fun and entertaining science experiments inside of the application. And baking soda and vinegar, when they react to each other, they produce carbon dioxide, which blows the balloon. So I am very curious whether Danush, Ethan, Olaniyi, and Mahia, yours balloon might be bigger than Barish's. So I encourage you to go to Twing and try this experiment yourself and share your videos. So welcome you all. And Lara, the floor is yours.
Okay, I'm Laura. It's very nice to meet you all. So I think we first start with introducing our co-hosts. First, Danush, how are you today?
Hi, my name is Dhanush. I am 9 years old. I am studying in grade 4 and I live in UAE and I have a YouTube channel and its name is Dhanush Sajanish.
Perfect. I'll check it out after the show.
Okay.
So nice to meet you. Ethan?
Hello, my name is Ethan. I study in Ambassador School, Sharjah. I study in grade 4B. My favorite subject is science. I also have a YouTube channel. Its name is Ethan Anish, and I know Danish.
Oh, so you're friends?
Yes, he studies in Ambassador also.
Okay.
That's really nice. Nice to meet you.
Are you doing shows together, Ethan, Danush?
Yeah.
Let's create content together. Me, you, and Danush. Is it okay, Ethan?
Yeah.
So come up with an idea, and I will attend to your YouTube show, okay?
Okay.
Eleni, how are you?
Fine, thank you. My name is Eleni Loye. I'm in UK. I'm in year 6 and I'm 11 years old and my favorite subject's maths.
Perfect. Nice to meet you. And once again, Mahia, how are you today?
My name is Mahia. I'm in year 7. I'm 12. And my favorite subjects, music and PE.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mahia's second time in here. She was sparkling in the first show, and we hope to see these sparklings again from all of you guys.
Yes. I think we can continue with the first question.
Okay. So just a quick reminder, before our show starts, our YouTube viewers can answer the questions from the live chat part. And please write your answer only one time so that it would be easier for us to analyze. If you write two times, we will consider your first answer, not the second one. And the viewers, whoever gives the most right answers, will have twin size kits. We have been sending these kits all over the world, and we have kits related with robotic and art. This is a very interesting kit called Curiosity Kit, and it is kind of shows all the tricks between wizards shows. You can do lots of stuff, and there is coding kit as well. So we will be giving these presents to 3 people, whoever gives the most right answer. Okay.
Okay. So we can have the first question.
So
Yeah.
some of you have contacted us that you're having problem with your receiving your kits. Don't worry, we're working on it. You will eventually receive it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunday, for the explanation. We will try to do our best to send all the kits to you. So the first question, we have a video, right, Lara?
Yes, as always, we start with a video.
Okay.
Okay.
И не просто парусник, а еще и исторический парусник, да
What do
еще
you
и
see in the video?
корабля первого.
Does anyone have any idea? What do you see? Maybe you've seen this in a movie. Danush, do you have any idea?
I think this is like people traveling on a boat and like they're trying to I mean it's like a tourist and some people from that country showing that around the ocean and the sea, I think, or they may be like showing the map.
Yes, exactly. So this looks like a boat, but it's not really that modern though. It might be a little old. So they could be using like old tools to navigate in that boat. And our next question could be about that. But here are the captain of the boat says that even this is an old boat, we've sailed up to like 90 days and we've passed the Atlantic Ocean. And it's really important for the crew morale because these type of boats might not have motors inside. So they're only using they only sail. So that's the important part. And we might have the first question. Okay, so the question is, how did people find their directions during sailing trips throughout the history? A, calculating the sun's angle of elevation. B, measuring the height of the sea waves. C, watching the dolphins. And D, using the smells. You have 10 seconds. Okay, so the time is up, and I see that almost all of, like, everyone gave the same answer, A. So why is that? Let's see. So 4 of you said A. Mahia, why did you say A?
So in the video, it kind of showed someone calculating something, and that was on a map. So maybe they could have been calculating, the
Angle of elevation.
Sun's angle of elevation.
Yes, the sun's angle of elevation.
Okay. So you say that they didn't measure the height of the sea waves.
No, they.
Why is that? Why are they looking at the sun but not the sea waves? It's okay if you don't have any idea. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Does anyone have any idea? Oluni, you have any idea why they didn't look at the sea waves but the sun's angle of elevation?
I'm not exactly sure, but
Okay, it's fine.
maybe the sea waves is not that effective or it's not that accurate.
Yeah, they might change, right? According to weather and sort of other things. But sun is always there, so it's much more accurate to look at. So you said watching the dolphins also wouldn't. Yes, Danush, I see your hand.
If I get a second chance to like maybe like if you ask like why if can you tell any other answer, maybe I will tell B, measuring the height of the sea, because in the video they were like taking a scale and they were measuring the ocean, so maybe I think it's B.
Maybe, yeah, it might be, but maybe they're looking at something like they definitely did have a map.
Treasure, or I think they're looking at a treasure or a.
Maybe we don't know. It doesn't really say specifically, but that would be cool. So what options did we eliminate first? Ethan, you have any idea?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. We can eliminate option D, because how can we find directions using our smell?
Exactly.
We only smell like.
Yeah, but dogs smells to find directions.
How can dogs smell the directions when we are
That's
on?
right. Police dogs, when they use them to search for things, they smell to search for things. So they smell for directions.
But I don't think so. That will happen on boats.
Mahia, yeah.
They have a strong sense of smell, so they can smell stuff from.
But actually, finding a way to the source of smell, that might be done with using smell, right? But navigating yourself, so knowing where are you at exactly on the earth, that cannot be done with using smell. You need something that it is you need to have a relation with a fixed point or with a like moving point, but you need to know the movement of it so that you can arrange your position according to that, right?
Exactly.
So this is for navigation.
Yeah, so the smells might change and dolphins might go to like different places, and even sea waves, the height of the sea waves might change due to weather and other things. But there's only one thing among all of these answers that wouldn't change, and that's the sun and its angle of elevation. Like the angle does change, but the sun, the orientation of the sun never changes really. So we can say that the correct answer is A. And we got this video that might help us find our way with the sunset.
I do those two distinct motions and bring the sun down until it's just about at the horizon.
Can we stop for a second? Okay. So what does this tool, do you know what this is called as? Do you have any idea? Anyone? No, I didn't know it until I saw this question, so it's completely fine. This is called the sextant, but in ancient times they called it, like a different version of this was called the astrolabium. This is actually used to find the angle of elevation by looking the impressions of the sun. So we can look at it. We can continue the video. Okay, so he's using this little thing to look at the impression of the sun, and he's like, he looks like he's tuning something, but we're gonna see yes. So this is like a green kind of little glass, little window kind of thing. And it moves that tool to the ground, and that impression of the sun comes to the horizon. So he made it like this, and then pointed down and changed the sun's place on that like sun's impression, and then he used that little thing to fine tune where sun is. Yes. So that is, yeah, that's where sun's right above the horizon. And as the video continues, we're going to see that the sun makes a little arc. Yeah, as you can see, it makes like a little arc on that little window kind of thing. And we want it to be at the bottom of the arc to find the exact angle of elevation by using this tool. And that little thing is for fine tuning it for like little couple angles. So we want the sun to be right above the horizon and at the bottom of the arc while using a sextant. And that's what people actually used to navigate themselves. But there's one thing that's really important. What we don't do is we never directly look at the sun. As you can see, he's using this tool kind of thing. And here are the Simpsons looking at the solstice. Are we calling it solstice? Yes. Not really sure. Okay. And there's this Mother Simpson, and she so desperately want to look at the sun during the solstice. It looks beautiful, but something really unfortunate is going to happen, and she's going to burn her eyes. So there's one thing that we should remember is never directly look at the sun. It might be really, really dangerous for your eyes. Always use sunglasses or some glasses with filters. That's really important. And this is what ancient sextants used to look like. And as I told you before, it was called the astrolabium.
Yeah,
but
actually, the device that we use today was this complicated device, Lara has explained to us. It looks very complicated, but what basically it does is you are looking through a lens, okay? Normally, the sun is in here. It is at top, right? So when you are looking at it, you are changing the position of the sun by using some special mirrors here, okay? So that device moves the sun from here to the horizon. And sun was at here, you move the sun to the horizon, and the angle between sun's exact position and the horizon is the elevation angle of the sun.
yes.
And this is the oldest one, right?
But one thing is, we know the angle of elevation, but how are we going to find where we are on Earth? We got the elevation angle. So how are we going to find our place? Yes, Ethan.
By using a compass, like to find the way.
Yes. But that's only finding the Polaris star. So we want which latitude we are so that we can like find like we have to go 100 miles, 150 miles. We want that information. So we got the angle of elevation. Fortunately, compass didn't help. Yes. So do we have any idea what we're going to do? Danush, do you have any idea how we can use that angle of elevation?
I think we can use that angle of elevation to maybe can I get some time to think? Can I get
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Mejia, Olani, do you have any idea?
Um,
Time to think. It's good. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little help to you. So we got the angle of elevation, and we know that during the equinox, this angle of elevation is 90 degrees. And we know we got that information, but you don't always sail with your boat when it's an equinox. So we have to use that information that it's 90 degrees when it's an equinox, and on any day we have to use that sun's elevation angle and find our place. And what they've done was, before the trip, they've created charts, like little tables, and they calculated what latitude you are going to be if your elevation angle is, for example, 40 degrees. If your elevation angle is 40 degrees, you have to be in this latitude. So they use that chart. They use that little thing, the tool, to look at the sun. And as soon as we have the angle, we look at the chart and we say, oh, we're here. So we have to go to this place. That's how it happened. Complicated process. Now we have GPS. Yeah. So I think, yes. Now so this is the ancient tool that they've used for what I said. So one side, they had the day. For example, that girl's going to use that day. For example, who was saying like December 17th or something at the beginning?
Yes, December 17th.
Yes. And then with that information given, we look at the star and the angle and find our latitude during according to that star.
It's pretty practical too, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Very simple solution.
Exactly.
Okay.
It looks interesting though.
Yeah. So, are we ready for number 2?
Yes. Okay. I got a very simple question to all of you. So we see what it says: bronze, copper, brass, aluminum, iron. What are these? Really simple question. A general name. Alani? Yes.
Metals.
Exactly. Danush, you were gonna say the same thing or not?
No, I was copper. In this picture, it's shown copper, and if we copper and tin, if we put it on the fire and melt it, then it will become bronze. Copper and tin. If we use it.
Well, if you combine them, together.
Combine them.
Yeah. Okay. When you combine it, what do we call it when we combine them? Do you know that? Two metals like something different. It's called an alloy. So can we go back to the image back again, please? So we said metals, though, but here we have brass. So, for example, in the periodic table, we got lots of elements, and a couple of them are called as metals. But when we say metals, we mean like pure metals. For example, like aluminum is a pure metal. Like you don't have to put anything else inside. We have that aluminum element. But brass is made of copper and zinc, I believe. I'm not really sure though. I have to check it. But so it forms an alloy. You can't really find the brass element in the periodic table. It's a combination of a couple of things. But yes, when we look at this image, we can say metals. That's completely correct. Okay, so our next question is going to be about metals. We good? Let's go.
Sounds.
Okay. How does heat affect metals? A, they shrink as it gets warm. B, they expand as it gets warm. C, they expand as it gets cold. And D, they don't get affected by heat at all. You have 10 seconds. Okay, so in the chat, I see high number of D's and a B. So someone who said D, can you explain why do you think like that? For example, yes, Olini?
Because I know metal is a heat conductor.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't think anything would really happen to it.
Okay, let's hold on to that. Ethan?
Like I told D because if the sunlight, if heat affect, how do I say it? So if heat goes on steel or anything, it won't shrink because it's strong enough, and it won't expand if it gets cold also. Even when it's warm also, it won't expand. So that's why I think it won't get affected by heat.
That's interesting. We're gonna look into it. Mahia?
I was meant to write B, but then I accidentally wrote B.
You were gonna say B and accidentally said D.
No. So I was the only person who wrote B, and I actually wanted to write D.
Okay. So opposite. Okay. Why do you think?
I agree with them.
You agree with them? So you think metals won't get affected by heat?
Yeah.
But so we're gonna watch an experiment. But one thing that I've learned from my science class. So you know railroads, right? Yes, Danush. I didn't see your hand. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said D because heat is like, metal is like it's a strong material. It's stronger than stone and bronze. So it doesn't get easily affected by the heat. But I think it also gets affected by the heat, but not so fast.
Not so fast. So why it might be like that? Slowly, you think?
I don't know that.
Okay, maybe you say we have to apply a lot of heat to change it, maybe.
Yeah, I meant that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mahia?
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on the temperature. So if you have it really, really high, then it will probably change
That's very good.
the shape.
Yeah.
Very good thoughts. Yeah.
So we're leading to that path. So at the very beginning, we're like, heat doesn't affect metals at all. And now we think maybe it might affect when we apply high temperatures. Did I understand it correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're switching our minds a little. That's good, because you know what a railroad is, right?
No.
Don't know?
Railroad?
Like a train.
No, I don't know. I don't also know that.
Subway stations, like metro stations, underground subway.
Oh, that I know.
Rails, the trains.
Yeah, metro stations
Yeah,
and
that I
subway
know.
I know.
Okay.
Metro stations and subway I know.
So it's the path that trains, let's say, use. Subway.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
the track. The track. It's called the train tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Train tracks. So when I was in middle school, my science teacher told me that they were building these railroads a little separate from each other. And we were like, why is that really? And she said metals, because they're made of metals, and metals might change during the summer. So how is the temperature during the summer? Hot or cold?
Quite hot.
Hot, definitely. It's, yes, Danush.
In UAE, I don't know about UK, but in UAE, it's in summer. It's very hot here.
Yeah, yeah, I
Almost
can
every
imagine
time
that.
it's hot.
It's really, really hot there. So
Almost every time it's hot. Only like sometimes in winter it's cold.
I like warm weather, but that might be a little extreme though. They built these train tracks a little separate from each other because they might do what?
Might expand.
Expand a little, yes. So let's watch our next video and we'll understand it better. Okay. So what kind of a plane does this look like? Do we have any idea?
Jet.
Yes. Or it says a supersonic plane. Almost the same thing. Yes. Let's watch the video. So the air comes through the plane, but not all of it passes directly. So it might create like a little compression of air in the tip. So can we stop it right here? Yes. So as we see in the couple of seconds ago in the video, this air was creating like a compression in the tip of the plane. Yes, right here, and it becomes red in the tip. So what might that cause, really, that compression of air in terms of like temperature? Do we have any idea? Olini, you seem like you have an idea. Ethan? No?
No.
Okay.
Let's think this. When you clap your hands, okay? This is air, this is your hand, okay? Think about, do it with me. Raise your hands, okay? So this is air and this is plane. And hit with your right hand to your left hand, okay? So once you clap and clap more, what happens to your hand?
Warms up.
It warms up. Or when you do this, what happens?
It gets so warm.
It gets warm. So air does the same thing to the tip of the plane. So what happens?
Yeah. So what might be the reason why when we do this, what happens? Hands rub to each other. What do we call it? Mahia? Yes.
Friction.
Exactly. So that air in the tip of the plane might cause a little friction force on the tip. And due to the compression of air, it gets warm and warm and warm. So, yes. Yes. So we see that the point of the plane is 128 degrees Celsius, but the wings of the plane are like 90 degrees Celsius. So there's like a huge temperature difference in a single supersonic plane. Yes, and this is something really interesting. Can we stop for a second? Okay. Yes. So as we can see, as the plane goes, this expansion becomes visible and visible. And this video was saying in the background that this might reach like 3 centimeters, almost 30 millimeters in length. So you might like put your fingers inside, and it starts to expand because of this temperature difference. And after we can go a little. We're gonna see that they've actually put a hat of a pilot and put it there after and this is like a really old plane, I believe, so they just left it there. It's not used anymore. Hopefully. But this expansion happens in the air and it becomes really visible. And that's a real life application of thermal expansion. And we got another experiment which is a little less complicated. It's called the bowl and the ring. So we got a metal ring and a metal sphere, and I believe they're made of brass. Yes. So can we stop for a second? Oh, yep. No, we seen. Okay, never mind. So we think what's gonna happen? Yes, Danush.
I think they combine metal.
Yes.
I think they combine metal.
Yes. And what's going to happen when we try to put the sphere inside the ring? Ethan?
I didn't get you.
The ball will go through the ring.
Yes, unfortunately we saw that, but yes, the ball is going to go through the ring.
Now I think the answer which I put was wrong.
It's fine. It's fine. It's for learning. So now you'll learn something. You should be proud of yourself. Okay, so the sphere passes through the ring. But now we're going to do something different. Yes. Now we're heating up the sphere. So let's stop here. And what do you think is going to happen now? Lenny?
The ball might expand, but not be able to fit in the ring.
Exactly. Were you going to say the same thing, Mahia?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to try to put that sphere inside the ring, and it does not go through. And that's like a really, really good visual representation of the thermal expansion. Yes, I'm sorry, but you've all learned something, so that's the important part. Don't worry, we have
the other place you see this typical expansion joint is on bridges. Next time your parents are driving you through over a bridge, just look out from the window. You will see a joint as you drive, and that joint is what we call the expansion joint. So when the steel expand, the joint close together. And then when it goes back to normal, the joints opens up again. If the joint wasn't there and the steel expand, it could actually cause a lot of problem. It could buckle, the steel could buckle if it doesn't have anywhere to go. So every bridge you've seen, and every steel bridge, even it doesn't even have to be steel bridge, concrete bridge as well, because concrete also expand when it heats up. So just look out for it. Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same thing with the railroads and stuff.
Yeah, when I have this kind of question, I tend to think myself as a metal, like metal molecule. If I were a metal molecule and someone heats me, and as the temperature increases around me, I start to shake a little bit, right? I start to move my friends away from me because it's getting hot, right? So this like pushing force between molecules, okay, increase a lot so that the shape, the dimensions of the metal change, okay? So you can think that way. For example, in warm climates, people have their homes more separate than others. In cold climates, they tend to get together, right?
Yes, I think of penguins actually. They live like as a colony to heat themselves.
Yeah,
like they live together. So we see that the same thing in animals too.
So next time you will have a question about metals, think yourself about metal molecules.
But I have a question. So now our sphere doesn't go through the ring. How are we gonna make it go back the ring? back through the ring again. Eleni, yes.
Make it colder.
Yeah, put it in the fridge. It's just that simple, and it's gonna shrink. Yes, Ethan?
There's another way also. Heat the ring again. It will expand, then the sphere will go in it.
Yeah, that's another way. Yeah, either expand the ring or shrink the ball. Yeah. Okay, so this is our third question. So,
Lunar lander has detached from the rocket.
A video from the European Space Agency. So, where are we on? What is this called? The
Moon.
Yes.
Moon.
Exactly. So we land on the moon, and we got this cylinder kind of thing, and now we're preparing to unload that thing, which is called the habitation capsule. We're unloading that on the moon. Yes, and it will have a dome to create a place for the people to live on the moon. These things are usually actually they're created in case that people want to live or colonize the moon. So we got two different places. It's one we have a technical module, and the other place is the dome, the inflatable dome, and they're creating this thinking that people are going to live there. And actually, I have a question. I know that might not be really related, but have you ever watched Teletubbies? Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
No.
No.
I think the name might be different in.
Might be. I'm not really sure. When I was young, there was this like little children's show called the Teletubbies, and they used to live in places like these, like under a little hill. They had their houses built in. It reminded me of those, which is interesting. But yeah, these are like little houses,
I will show Teletubbies.
Yes. Yeah. Tinky Winky Lollipop. Yeah, I used to love them. And they used to live in a place like that dome. Under the ground. Yeah, it reminded me of those. I don't know. So our next question is going to be about what, you think?
Moon.
Moon. Space. Yes. Let's see. Okay. If we were able to live on the moon, which one would be correct for someone who lives on the dark side of the moon? A, it would always be dark. B, it would lighten up for only once a year. C, there would always be light. D, the half of the day would be daytime while the other half would be night. You have 10 seconds. Okay. So we got the answers in the chat, and I see that most of the people said D, and we have one B. So can we look at the answer one more time? I think you said B, right? Why do you think is it like that?
I don't think it would always be dark, but I don't think it would often be light, as it's called the dark side of the moon for a reason. So I think it would lighten up for only once a year.
That's really good common sense. So you think that it's not going to be always dark. Yeah. It's going to lighten up. But we're not really sure when it's going to happen, right? Okay. So all the other people said D. So yes, why did you say D?
Yes.
Me? Oh, could you please go back to the slide?
Of course.
The question. So the thing is that like B, the moon could the dark side of the moon could light up, but we don't know when it will.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe maybe how the Earth rotates around the sun, and and it also spins on an axis. So when it's like facing away, okay. So you know how the Earth spins on an axis
around itself, right?
And then the moon spins around the Earth. So similarly, like like how the Earth spins. Similarly, I think the moon could also kind of do that. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you basically explained the whole thing. Thank you. But I actually found this snow globe in my room, and it says "I love New York." And unfortunately, we don't have anyone from the U.S., but hopefully we will. So I want to make a demonstration. So we're gonna think that this snow globe is the moon, and let's say the sun rays are coming from this side. So, but we know one information. As Mahita said, moon should be rotating around itself on an axis. So the sun rays are coming like this, and we think that only this side of the moon is lightened up. Like when we look at the moon, what do we see? Something like this. Little, yes. Danush?
Yeah, when we look at the moon in from where you live in, basically it'll be on circle, or it changes its maybe it'll be dark, half will be dark, it'll be crescent, it can be full moon.
Yeah.
It depends on how it rounds how the moon rotates by itself and the sun.
Exactly, yes, that's correct. But when it's full moon, like the maximum that it can get is a full moon, right? We see like a circle, like a spherical shape, and we think that only one side of it becomes like it lightens up and the other side is dark. But actually, you forget one thing, that when the sun rays are coming like this, yes, we only see that one side is lightened up, but this also rotates around itself. So it should be, sun rays should come to all of the places, maybe not even, but every place on the moon should see sun equally, right? Because it's rotating like this. So let's say if this is the dark side, eventually it's gonna come towards the sun. So ancient people didn't know actually that the moon was rotating itself, so they called the backside of the moon the dark side, but that doesn't really happen because all of the places on the moon is equally seeing the light. So our correct answer is D. And if we were able to live on the moon, we would see the day, like, I don't know. For example, on Earth, we have 24 hours. The 12 hours would be night and 12 hours would be daytime. Yes. So that's our third question. Yeah. So this image, as the Earth rotates around itself, the moon is moving much slowly though. So this is the dark side that we're talking about, but eventually that's also going to see the sun. Maybe we're not going to be able to see that part of it.
Actually, it is a very slow movement of the moon.
Yeah.
Because of the slow movement, the dark side gets the light. For example, it starts at the half of this crater. You see the shadow starts at the half of this crater here. And at the end of the video, it lightens up fully. So it's a slow, and look how many rotation the world has done until the moon actually, the light change.
I'm trying to count.
Yeah, so it is like
1.
No, just like I
now
think
1.
like 2, yeah, like 2, 1.5 direction, and it takes a month to complete 1 day in the moon. So it is like half of the day it has light, half of the day it has shadow, it is dark, but 1 day, 1 complete day in moon takes about a month.
So when we say day, we understand like 24 hours, but if we were on the moon, it would be like in Earth time, maybe like 15 days daytime and 15 days nighttime. So it's not like 12 hours daytime, 12 hours nighttime. It's like 15 days and then other 15 days night. So our understanding of day changes as the place, the planet, or the moon that we go to. We should not forget that.
Time is relative, guys. Remember this saying. I say this all the time, but I'm not sure I understand it completely, because all the life this life we are living in, it is a quest to understand time, space. Okay, so but we know that time is relative.
Yeah. So, okay. We have our fourth question, which is the camouflage question. Please don't shout the answer if you see it. I'm begging you. It always happens.
For last 2 weeks, I think we are giving the answer while asking the question, right?
Exactly. Please don't shout if you see it. But like, let's say, what colors do you see in the image? Yes. Oleni, yes.
I see black, brown, kind of greenish brown also.
Okay. Oleni, was your hand up?
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay. Danush, yes.
I could see black, mostly black, and the like some shells, kind of like a shells green,
Yes.
and some light brown.
Good, good, good. Mahia, yes.
A bit of bottle green, yellow, and then the rest they covered.
Okay, perfect. So here comes our question.
What is camouflage?
Okay. Which animal is doing camouflage in the image above? A, an oyster, B, a scorpion, C, a fish, D, a bird. You have to answer.
Bird! It's a plane!
Okay, so the time is up, and I see that all of us said the same thing. So let's start. Ethan, you said A. Where is the oyster?
It's like I can't show it with my mouse. It's the biggest kind of shell, I think.
Yes.
This one?
No.
No.
This one?
No, in the middle.
In the middle one! Yes.
I wouldn't choose the others because a bird couldn't look like that, a scorpion couldn't look like that, even a fish couldn't look like that.
Exactly. So here's our oyster. Mahia, yes, your hand was up.
I actually thought it was a turtle turtle first, but then that wasn't in the options, and I realized it was an oyster.
Yeah, the color of turtle, right? It is very similar to colors in here.
Yeah.
It's a nice guess, Mahia.
Yeah. Danush, yes.
Yeah, I said a oyster because can you take that picture once again?
Yes, sure.
Of course.
In the picture, I first thought there's like green, so I thought there would be a frog, almost. Like on that side of there, I think that's a frog. Maybe then when I checked on the middle and the middle, then I thought it's a oyster in the picture.
Yeah. Even if it's really big, it might be like a different thing, right? Yes, Ethan.
And like Danish told, he thought it was a frog. Really, next to that middle, on the left side for me, there is something like a frog.
Where? I can't see it.
Yeah, I think that's a frog also. I think, yeah.
Not that. Something. It's another one. It's like it's kind of black with some white things on top.
Oh.
Not that. It's not that. It's the other side.
Oh, now I see. Yes. Left.
A little bit down.
Bottom left. Yes.
Yeah. That one.
That kind of looks like a frog.
Yes. Me too. I thought that in the options there would be a frog at first, and then when I checked the options and then when I checked the picture, okay, it would be oyster.
It's hard to identify the frog.
Scorpion and a bird. Of course, a bird I can eliminate first. Fish also I can eliminate second. Scorpion and oyster I was confused first. Then when I Like I checked little closer, and in the middle there was an oyster.
Okay.
And I also saw a frog. So I didn't know that. I was confused half in this question.
Oleni, yes.
There was a fish, what looked like a fish, in the top left, but I couldn't do it because its face looked a bit weird, and I don't think that really looked like a fish anymore.
Okay. We should have put frog and sea turtle in the options. Yeah, that'll be really.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. In the image, there are like some black kind of eggs or something. Yeah, like small black. Near to the frog, near to that frog kind of.
There are black stones.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
stones.
know what they really are.
These are stones, guys. This is stone. This is stone. We have some other shells in here. Shells in here. Shells and stones.
Yeah.
Like down on the oyster, there's a kind of log which has black stones down. Like first when I looked at that, I thought that was the kind of animal. The middle one and down one, I thought that was a type of animal. But then when I saw the options, I'm like, no, it's not.
Actually, you never know, Ethan. You never know what nature brings you, so you better watch out. Be careful.
Yeah. So that now we all know that it's an oyster in the middle. We got a couple of things about oysters. What do you know about oysters? Like, what do they do? Why are they in the sea? Ethan, yes.
Oysters, they have pearls inside.
Yeah.
And how they get the pearls is like when it's raining and when the moonlight is there, when the raindrop goes in the water, it turns into a pearl. And then it falls into the oyster's mouth.
What?
That's really interesting.
Ethan, how do you know this?
I learned that in school.
Wow.
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it, Ethan. You surprised me.
Yes. Oleni, I saw your hand was up.
I was gonna say a similar thing.
Pearl, do you know what they do in the sea? Like
what does do in the sea?
Like, why is it in the sea? Like, what does it do to the seawater?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, it's fine. Does anyone know? Why do they do with, like, what do they do with seawater? No, Danush? Yes.
Actually, I couldn't answer seawater. What do you ask right now? This question, but I can maybe tell about Ethan's question. Ethan, he was saying that in the oysters there are pearls. Yeah, but I don't think that the rain drops form the pearls. That's because at least it needs like at least 3 or 4 5 more days. It needs to rain, but we cannot tell about the weather. We cannot tell future. Maybe
whenever it rains.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know it's truth or false. Maybe Ethan could be right. Maybe I would be wrong. Maybe.
So what should we do when we are in this kind of situation?
Check.
Yeah? Check. Yeah. Go check the sources. Yeah, Mahia.
I mean, you could try experiment.
You could try experimenting, of course.
You need a blue light.
Yeah.
And also, how do we find the oysters? Like, first, some people go for like fish, like pearl diving, and then then they will find the pearls, the oysters inside the pearls. So they will take the oysters first, and they will give to another person. So that person will take out the remove the pearl from the oyster, and then they sell it in UAE. the pearls are the money. Before they didn't invented money before. In UAE, pearls are the money before in ancient times.
I learned this in UASST. That's how I knew this.
I learned this in grade 3 UASST.
Wow. I have to come to your school. I have to come and learn in your school.
Exactly. So we're gonna watch a video about what you've just said. So there's this woman who found oysters, and now she's gonna extract pearls. What's interesting is, yes, let's see. So we got lots of pearls, right, inside an oyster. 6, 7, maybe. When I was little, like actually not that little though, probably like a couple of years ago, I thought that only like an oyster would only give 1 pearl. So I was like, wow, so you need so many oysters to make a necklace or something. But I was like, when I watched this video, I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Mahia?
I think that could be a clam or something.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But oysters do, and like the pearls are like with different colors. Pink, gray.
Pink, blue, white.
Yeah. Danush?
Yeah, I was telling that inside the oysters, I mean I not inside the oysters. I don't know are pearls rare or they're not rare. I have a question: is pearls really rare?
Not really, not as rare as I think gold, but they are really expensive, which means that they are rare.
Before in UAE, it was like rarest thing is pearls.
Wow, so they were really, really expensive.
Because
So
that time I don't think they invented gold.
or never extracted. I don't know. But at in the other video, I wanna point out something. So I did not answer my own question, but I really do want to answer that question. So as I assume no one knows what oysters really do, but we can call them as the filters of the sea. So they take seawater and filter it, and they take all the bacteria to inside, and they form pearls and stuff. So we can assume that they are pretty dirty since they take everything inside the seawater in themselves. Yes, Ethan.
I want to say that Danish told that pearls are rare or not, but right now, like in 2020 to 2019, like that, nowadays pearls aren't rare because after Japanese invented the fake pearls, now everything is fake pearls.
But we're talking about the real, like the ones that comes from oysters.
I know.
Yeah. But so they filter seawater and they take all the bacteria inside. So they need to be cleaned very, very well because people eat it, and you don't want to eat turd and bacteria, I assume. So they need to be cleaned very well to be eaten and other stuff. And this video, we can see how similar they are to stones. So they're really, really good at camouflage. They have like moss on themselves, so they look exactly like a stone.
Thanks, oysters, for cleaning our seas, right? For Earth seas.
Yes, and some statics, I've learned that an oyster can filter like 5 liters of water in an hour and 190 grams of water in 1 day.
Wow.
So that's huge. That's what one oyster does. I don't know the size, but yeah, that's the statics, which is really, really huge.
I never knew about that.
Yeah. Okay. So here is our 5th question.
So tell me, guys, what do you see?
Earth.
Earth.
Earth, and this is?
And the place is like Africa.
Africa, yes.
What's that?
Antarctica. I think they're showing the continents. Yeah, continents.
Continent. Okay.
Where is this? What is this? Which continent?
Asia. India is located in Asia.
Okay, so we're coming to Turkey.
UK, Turkey, here.
Okay. What else?
Turkey, Australia.
No. And North America.
South America.
South America.
Yes.
So let's see what's
Okay.
question number 5.
So, which continent is the birthplace of humanity and the cradle of civilization? A. Antarctica. B. America. C. Africa. D. Australia. You have 10 seconds. Okay, so we got B's and C's, and Sunday, the floor is yours.
Right. Okay. Majority of you think it's B. Why? Can somebody tell me when America was discovered?
Yeah, Olaniye.
Never mind.
But do you think America was discovered before Australia or before Africa or after?
I think it was before Australia, but I don't really think it was before Africa.
What about Europe? Think it was discovered before Europe or after Europe?
I think it was discovered before Europe.
Who discovered America?
We learned it at school, but I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Danush?
Anybody know?
Can you please put that slide?
Okay. He wants to show the slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which continent is the birthplace of humanity and the cradle of civilization?
I said B, America, because the birthplace of humanity is surely Antarctica is like before, I think, and Australia, I don't really know about Australia, but I know about Africa. Africa, I think it comes also after.
Right. Okay. So which one do you think we can eliminate?
I think I can eliminate Australia.
Okay. So we've got one out and we've got 3 left.
I think
Anybody
Mahia
went
has
for A?
something to say. Mahia has something to say, I think.
Mahia?
Oh, so I think America, because so I don't know. I was watching this thing, and it kind of, so I don't know if this is right or not, but there were these it kind of showed us about, I think, Red Indians or something, like the Native American people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I would kind of say America, but I'm not honestly 100% sure.
Nice way of thinking. Yeah.
Okay. Very, very lateral thinking. So anybody think Antarctica?
I think we can eliminate Antarctica.
Yeah.
I think we can not eliminate Antarctica, and we can eliminate Africa.
Eliminate
That's so many
Africa.
people
Why?
live in Antarctica.
Because like Africa, I think it's first. I just think, I don't know really, but I think it's first. Africa was first, and then Antarctica comes second.
Okay.
So
that's a good way. That's a good way to look at it as well.
So
right. we got go on.
So I think that Africa I can eliminate.
Okay. Right. We've got a couple of videos to show you.
Yes.
Maybe before that, I want to ask a question, little one. So it says cradle of civilization. What does civilization mean?
Yes.
Mahia?
Kind of our world, kind of where it all started, and who we are.
Yeah,
and
And how do you measure civilization?
Countries.
Yeah, how do you measure it? I mean, how do you know this country is more civilized, this place is more civilized? Danush?
By their rules and regulations
Rules
and their
regulations,
and their
okay.
architecture. Like in school, I learned about many civilizations, like Chinese civilization, Mesopotamia civilization, ancient Greece civilization.
Yeah,
Many
perfect.
civilizations I have been learned, and the ancient Greece, which like I learned like day before when I mean yesterday I learned the Greece civilization, and I think because of their architecture, it's the strongest civilization, and with their knowledge, the science, all the subjects were very nice.
So
And yeah,
you measure it with the know-how that civilization have, right?
Yeah.
With architectural know-how, with science know-how, engineering know-how, tool production know-how. Yes, Mahia.
I have two things to say. So first of all, we all have different cultures and the way we do things, and also I think it's called the Cradle of Civilization. Can I say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Cradle of Civilization because cradles are obviously for like babies and stuff, and that's when they're like born. So I think it's like when civilization was like officially made.
Nice, very nice.
Olani?
I was going to say it could be most likely Africa because when the world wasn't really like when it was only one continent, Pangea, wasn't that in the center of the world, and Africa is around the center of the world, so I think it could be Africa.
Perfect.
Right. You for giving us reason, and you've described what cradle of civilization is, especially with the involvement of architecture, culture, and all that. Yes, that's how you know where things starts from. So we're going to show you a couple of videos there that will give you a very few examples of civilization across the world. The first one is the magnificent wall of Benin. Benin is a city in Nigeria, the south part of Nigeria, and you could see there it's like a colony. That's a big community there. The bit in the middle there, that's where their king lives. And the king is surrounded by this concentric circle of communities and a massive wall on the outside. So if anybody want to attack them, they have to wage that war before they could attack the community and before they could attack the king palace. And the size of this concentric circle is about 10, 15 times the what's the one I'm looking for? The China
Wall of China.
The Wall of China, yes. If you've been onto the Wall of China, see how long it is. This one is about 10 times that. So you have to walk a long distance before you could, get to the center and try to attack the king. So that's one. And this was created many, 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 many millions years ago. Yeah. So the next one. Right. This one is yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Go on. The Church of Saint George in Lalibela. This is.
And you could see this was also built many, many years ago, to the extent that it was abandoned and ended up being buried, and they have to unbury it to be able to expose this magnificent building. If you have the opportunity to go there and see it, it's still there now, and it's amazing. And for them to have something preserved for that long, that's to show the material they've used to build this thing, to make sure it stays there for a very long time. And it's a network of tunnels, passages inside the rock right there, so that you could move from one building to another without being seen or being attacked.
Yes, actually this structure has been referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. And how do you think they managed to carve this rock, Danush?
I think they got this like by this can you go to the next picture? Yeah, and on there are some like rectangles and some lines which are next to the king's palace.
This is actually church at the
I
middle.
mean, yeah, church.
Yeah.
And there are some of like people or soldiers who are like guarding that, I think, or they maybe could be visitors.
Yeah, there are visitors actually. Yeah. Olaniye, what do you have to say?
They could be using the tunnels.
Yeah. So, and in order to actually carve this rock, you need what at Eton? You need what to carve these rocks? What do you need?
What tools do you need to be able to carve the wood?
Yeah, you need tools. Mahia?
So you'd obviously need a shovel, but I don't think they had. I don't think they had shovels back then. So they probably had sticks, and they kind of.
So, very interesting thing. Sunday was explaining that in order to build this architectural like masterpieces, you need very powerful tools, right?
Can
So
I just say some
Yeah.
of the tools?
Yeah.
I think you need like a watchtower and you need like telescopes. The watchtower will be high and they have to be in the highest floor, and then they would be needing some telescopes, and they will be needing to send people message. Yeah, now you have to go out there. I see someone stealing all the gold and stuff.
Yeah, after the construction, you are right. But during the construction, you have very powerful tools, and you need very specialized know-how about how to produce these tools. You need shovel, then you need to know how to shape metals. You need to know how to connect woods with metals, right? So all of these know-how has been the core of these architectural masterpieces, and we can understand the level of know-how of these civilizations from these masterpieces. And this is the third one. And this is obelisk of Aksum. This is from 12th century CE. It is 24-meter tall. So in order to build this 24-meter tall obelisk, you need again very nice structured ladders, right? And you need to have enough forces to make it vertical, right? You carve it when it is on the ground, but when you want to raise it to the vertical position, you again need a very powerful tool. So all of these actually architectural masterpieces are from Africa region, and this is the fourth one, Sunday.
Yeah, this is a pyramid in Egypt. I'm sure some of you have seen this before. Again, you could see how big, massive these structures are. And up to today, we're still wondering how they're able to achieve this. If anyone want to build this now in this age, you need a lot of mechanized engines and machines to be able to do this. Or they were able to do this many, many, many years ago. And people are still trying to figure out how they've done it. And all of these happens in the vicinity of Africa. So as you've said earlier, that Africa have a lot of these, is the cradle of civilization. This is something that wasn't taught very well in schools. Even African schools don't teach this thing to students. So that's why we wanted to highlight it to you. And there's so many more that we could keep finding more and more of these things that shows Africa is a birthplace of humanity and the cradle of civilization. So I hope you've learned something new today. Yes, go on, Lara.
I want to say something very little. So a couple of years ago, I made a trip to South Africa, and I went to Tanzania. And I don't know, like many people don't know that the first human footprints are in Tanzania. And I got this thing from Tanzania, which is from wood.
Wow.
Yeah, and it says Hakuna Matata, which means there are no troubles.
Yes.
So I hang this in my wall. It was right there. I had to like pick it up.
I saw you when you went to pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got this thing from a museum that's like right next to the first human footprint, which is I think really interesting. I love this piece. It's in my wall. It's beautiful. It's carved. Yes, and it says there are no troubles.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes, guys, we people might have trouble understanding each other, right? And we show some reactions that if we think twice, we wouldn't do. And the world today is right in a kind of like mixed up situation, and people are trying to understand each other in a gentle way. And some of them are not, but some of them, there are lots of people who believe that we have a greater future and we can succeed this future by only succeeding together. So here you are from UAE, UK, Istanbul, and our home is Adana, a city that you have never known maybe until now, you never heard. So the important thing is not where we are from. The important thing is not what is the nation that we are living in. Where are we from, right? The important thing is how much we value knowledge and how much we respect to each other's knowledge. So as long as you get this into your head and you think on this, you will always find the better solution, better way to approach social life problems.
Yeah,
So,
and I like the way that you guys were communicating among yourself. Sometimes you collaborate, sometimes you don't. And the critical thinking, the moment one person says something, it jogs the memory of the other person to come up with other reason or disapprove or accept what the person has said. So this is how you will operate as you grow up. You have to learn how to think critically and be very creative, and then compose yourself and explain your thinking to other people, whether by talking or by sketching or by writing. This is what we're trying to improve in you, and you guys have shown that today. So well done to all of you. Lara.
Like what my mom always tell me is that there's only one rule that you have to always keep in mind, which is you don't really have to like everyone, but you have to respect everyone no matter what, where they are from, who they are. So you should always keep in mind that you have to respect everyone around you, you're working with, your friends, everyone. But you don't really have to like them, but respect should never change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the
Wait, can I I have a question about the pyramids. In the pyramids of Egypt, do they in the pyramid do they have dead bodies, people?
Actually, Danush, maybe we can ask one more question about pyramids in our next show, but they were not being used as like dead bodies, a home for dead bodies, right? It is a whole kind of different story. They only find one dead body in one of the, I think, pyramids or so. I will make a research about it, and I will ask a question about why pyramids were built, what was the reason behind it in our next show, okay?
Like you just told that there will be one body in one of the pyramid, and like in cartoons and all, they show mummies.
Yeah, mummies in everywhere. But these are very nice structures that were built for healing, for observing moon, sun, for observing sky, space, because they were measuring time and they were trying to adjust their monthly, yearly, annual activities because they were doing agriculture. So they wanted to know when the sun will appear, when rain will come. So they were very dependent to the nature. So they wanted to understand. That's why they built this pyramid. Okay. So this is the sixth question.
Yes, and the illusion question. Today, instead of an illusion, we have a magic trick that I believe you've probably seen but don't know the reason. So let's watch.
This helps our magician make the illusion seem more
so
tight
here we
than it
got
really is.
box, our magician. Okay, so this beautiful lady goes inside the box. Yeah, now we see her face, and there's one hand is at the top. There's like a hole for one hand, another hole for another hand. Yes. Okay, so this is what our box looks like. So she has this like handkerchief kind of thing in her hand. And we got blades. So we're gonna put the blade inside the box. Yeah. So it's a little hard to put, but yes. So now the blade is inside. And now we're gonna put another one at the bottom. So her hands are still moving and she's smiling, but now she has two blades inside. And even more, we're gonna move the middle part, so but we can still see the hand. Okay, so two blades, the middle part of the body moved. There's nothing in between. So let's start thinking, like, how could this happen? What could be the reason behind it? Please don't shout if you know it. I beg.
I kind of think I know it.
No,
okay.
Don't say.
I'm not saying it.
So our last question for today is, how does the magician perform the zigzag girl illusion that you've just watched? A, the girl gets out of the box before the blades are inserted. B, blades go through the girl. C, the girl moves her body inside the box. D, none of the above. You have 10 seconds. Okay, so we got our answers. So our answers mostly concentrate on A and C. Let's start with A. Danush, why did you say A? I think we can have
Can
the
you put that
option
slide?
again. Huh?
Can you put that slide? Yeah, I said A, the girl gets out of the box before the blades are inserted, because in the video they show first the girl gets in the box and then they put like a kerchief on her hand. And like I think the kerchief, they put the kerchief to concentrate on that. Okay, and then when they put the blades, then we have to concentrate on that. And then when they moved the hand, and we are still concentrating on the hand, how could the hand be like that? Maybe in that time she could, maybe the blades are not pushed full on the box, it's like only half, and then when she like moves her body, and then the magician, without seeing, he did it, pushed it all the way out of the box, I think.
So you say that the red handkerchief is like used to distract us, and when we concentrated on the handkerchief, the girl just got out of the box.
Yeah, I
okay,
think.
so you what would a blade do to a person? Yes, Ethan.
It will like cut the stomach, they cut the parts.
So what should normally happen if the blades
They
actually
would be dead?
Yeah, dead, lots of blood, aching and stuff. So
maybe we would not be able to see the blood because she's in the box.
But she's smiling.
But she's still alive.
She's still alive.
One thing like that I'm still confused is why did they turn the box? So maybe she got out of that box suddenly, and then they just put something else which looks like her, and then it's moving, something like that.
Maybe they've moved the box to get rid of this like thing that she got out of the box, like this idea. So
Like
that
now I just want to change my answer. I feel like to change it. Can you put that slide again?
yes,
Of
but
course.
Oleni, yes, your hands up.
I think that she moves her body inside of the box because if you see her face, she looks a bit slanted.
Okay.
Like she's
Now
moving, trying to dodge the blades.
So you say that she's like going to the left a little from our view.
Then like when the other blade comes, how will she dodge both of them?
When the blade comes, how do you dodge it?
now I just want to change my answer. I said first A, but now I want to change it. I want to change it to B.
You want to change it to B?
Wow.
I want to change it to B because maybe before the blade went through the through her body, he was just smiling like that only, and then the blade went and she's dead.
So you want to say that she's dead?
I want to say one more thing.
Okay, Maria.
I think that no. So if you see at the end of the video, I think she comes out and she seems perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I don't think she would be dead.
Yeah.
Oh, or maybe I was wrong.
Yes. So yeah, we're sorry. We didn't really show that part. I understand you, but she's perfectly fine. She's one piece.
Wait, I want to say one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe in that box there was a second layer. So when she got inside the box, she went into the second layer, and then like when the blades come, it can't cut that second layer and go through. So they just made the second layer come a little bit front, and her hands could like come out of the box and show them, and her face.
That is a possibility. Oleni, yes.
Maybe they didn't put the blade fully in, so it still had a bit of room. So it could be D, none of the above.
Okay. So is this the second video?
Yeah. You can watch it.
Okay.
Now I just want to say now you forgot to show that she is all fine. So then I think I will go with A only.
So guys, I have a question for you. Which answer, which choice makes the most sense? Okay.
A.
I feel like you are playing with us. I feel like
A.
A or C.
A or C?
Oh yeah, A or C.
That's
A and C. A and C. A and C.
Okay. So let's watch how actually this illusion happens.
Okay.
Show you how this trick is done.
Really, really interesting. So she goes inside the box. Okay, so now we are eligible to see inside what's happening inside the box. So in a minute, we're going to see. So the middle part is clear now, and we see her hand and the handkerchief at the bottom. So can we stop?
Of course.
Okay, so notice something. The wood part of the blade is much bigger than the actual blade, like in terms of the width. So there's this like really, really, really small portion for someone like a belly to be still fine and alive so that the blade doesn't cut her. So that's what video is going to point out. Let's continue to watch. But notice that part is like much bigger than the width of the actual blade. Okay, so that part, it's smaller than the wood. So we insert the blade, and that little portion is exactly the amount that's left from her body. And we're gonna put that.
Wait, she's moving sideways.
Exactly. So Oleni actually noticed that she was moving to the left a little and dodging the blades.
So when they put the other blade, it was the same size.
Exactly. And in terms of the hand, she is still, but she only
You
moves
just
her
move
hand.
the hand.
Exactly. So moving that box, and also we got that little black portion to, yeah, that part on the right, and it blends perfectly with the background so that no one would notice that like anything else is left when we move the box, like the middle box.
Yeah.
That little portion is like on purpose made black so that it perfectly blends with the background, and you think that the box is fully moved to the left, but actually not. Yes, Mahia.
Could I see the original video just to kind of
Yeah, sure. Which part?
like all of it?
All of
Like,
it. Okay.
Just if that's okay. Just
Okay.
to see how it actually is.
So in the other video, we only see like the middle part is like, it has nothing on it. It's clear. But here we only see the hands and yes. And again, the blades are like much smaller than the wood. And he on purpose, like like acts like it's hard to enter the blades, as if it's cutting her, but actually not. And we still have that like black little portion, even if it's really hard to see. Yeah.
So does she move her body to the side?
Yeah, she moved her body to the side, and when the box, like the middle box is moved, she only moved her hand.
Right.
Well, that would be hard, like to move her head so front to the other side, front, and her body is in the other side. That would be hard.
Yeah.
Probably trained though.
Okay, guys, so I have two challenges for you. I got the winners of the day, two winners of the day. I will announce them in a minute, but I want to show you the challenges that are online in Twing mobile application now. So any one of you know what kind of like astronomy event we have tomorrow? Yeah, Mahia?
The launch of SpaceX or something.
What did you say?
Is it the launch of the
Launch of SpaceX? Yeah, it was last week. It was a very like revolutionary event.
It was last week. No,
Yeah, you should go check the video
I
out.
missed it.
It's a nice event. And tomorrow our moon has a special event for us. Our moon. What will happen to the moon?
What could possibly happen to the moon?
Maybe the moon will not come.
We will see.
Maybe the moon will be in yellow.
Yellow? No, Mahia?
Eclipse.
Eclipse. We have eclipse tomorrow, and it will be visible around many places. Let me show you where it will be visible. Just a second. Oh. So it will be visible around Europe, like it will be half visible. So from UK, Mahia, Sunday, you will be able to see it, but not completely. And from UAE and Turkey, you will be seeing it pretty good. So it will start at 6:45 UK time, 6:45 p.m.
Okay.
Time, 6:45 p.m. UK time.
What about UAE time?
UAE time, I need to check. What time is it in UAE now?
Now in
9:35.
UAE, yeah, 9:35.
Okay, it will be 9:45 in UAE. 9:45 p.m.
AM.
PM.
PM.
Okay, so it will be at night. So you can check the eclipse and you can make a video while you are watching it. Okay.
But in UAE, we'll still think it's night, even if the solar eclipse is not even there. Because it's already night and it will take more night.
Yeah, so it will be nice. So the moon will turn to reddish colors, okay? Reddish colors as we watch today. And you can make a video about it, and you can make your own astrolabe by using the directions that we give in Twing mobile application. And the winners of today is here. Two winners of the day. We have Adebimpe Atanda. We have Aurama Oeidonkor. We have Stephen Varghese Matthew. Please follow Twin Science Instagram account. Send a direct message with your YouTube username and write your age in the message. So our friends will send you Twin Science kits. And if you want to be a co-host today, if you want to be co-host in this show, like we do, send an email to hello@twinscience.com and write who wants to be a Twinner co-host in an email subject, guys. So I want to thank you all for this show, Lara, Sunday. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, everybody.
Ethan, Olaniyi, Mahia, Danush, thanks for being here. We hope to see you guys again here and in the mobile application.
It was nice to meet you all.
You guys have done very well. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
All the participants.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.